But we are here. Unicorns of Love, Millennium on the Rift. Best of 5 Millennium up 1-0 so far. One of these teams will be joining the LCS. Whoever wins this series will do so. Zillion and Alistair still banned away by Unicorns of Love, so Vizichachi not wanting to first pick that. Same exact bans as well by Millennium. Yep, there's the Fizz ban. Smart choice. UOL realized that, and actually, wow, the Kha'Zix ban. And he hovered over Maokai anyway.
And
there it is.
It's going to be the Maokai first pick there for Vizichachi, giving him a top laner that he can thrive on. He was doing such a good job on that Aurelia previously, but he's going to go with the Maokai now, which is going to give him more teamfight presence in terms of AoE and what they wanted to do and just full-on brawl Millennium.
It's true. What was the other ban that the Unicorns of Love dropped here to add Fizz in? I'm trying to remember. I remember they had Orianna was a ban that I think Millennium ran and put in Kha'Zix for it now. I don't remember what else UOL banned. I feel silly now. But I wonder what Millennium's going to pick up then with that ban dropped.
It means Nidalee is available.
True.
Don't know if that was banned in Game 1. I would assume it was, but regardless, there isn't a huge priority on that right now. And Kevin, he's just going to go with the tanky frontliner again.
Millennium going to play the same things over and over again. Mundo is one of those champions I see played into both Ryze and Maokai a lot. And Kevin's happy to keep playing that matchup here. So Unicorns of Love now have time to grab contested mid laners, grab supports away. Hillsong might just go back to his Thresh. They might still play a pick comp. We'll have to see what they go for.
Okay, so it was the Maokai that was banned away by Unicorns of Love
ban,
instead of Fizz. So they pick it up first rotation this time.
Yeah, it makes sense. First round draft pick, Maokai.
Yeah, first round.
No.
Is that rotation? There's no rotation in Champ Select.
Nope.
Nothing
moves.
Picking down the line.
All right, and of course, Power of Evil does get the Orianna. That was banned away from the last time here, and I do like this because Unicorns of Love, thing is, they had played the game so smart, and they did show up for the dragon fights. The problem is they couldn't quite win them. They now have an incredibly good team fight composition. They should look actually pretty good in those 5-on-5s.
Yeah, and UOL just picked up the 2 champions that were banned away previously and subbed out for bans this game. So the Fizz subbed out for the Maokai, picked it up for themselves. Kha'Zix subbed out for the Orianna. They get both of them. They're looking for this teamfight composition for UOL instead of the pick comp.
Right, so that's the crazy thing as well, is the fact that like both champions, like both the new bans were Millennium champions, and both teams banned one champion, and UOL got them. So I feel like just from the ban phase, like the hash would have gone better. Creatin is going to lock in Elise now for Cottonex, no longer getting Kha'Zix. Still the Nami, though, for J-Re. Unicorns of Love now have to pick their entire bot lane here, and they might just repeat the same champions.
And they're picking in order, too. Just straight down the line, UOL are just getting power picks for themselves and comfort picks, too.
Yeah.
Because Gilius is Lee Sin, most played champion, and he's still going back to that. Played it last game. And see if he has more pressure in the lanes this time. And UOL, we're going to use Vardogs instead of matching aggression with something like a Corki against Creatine. He knows he's outmatched there. He's going to go with something that hyper carries so that if they lane swap, he has more options. He can get free farm. And I like this move by UOL because sometimes you just have to sit and go, I can't beat this guy at his own game. I have to go do something else.
Well, J-Re says, you know what, guys? I'm going to lock in for you, Kerp. Zed, Yasuo, also other stuff on the table, wants to go for Talon. And I was wondering how long it would take for Talon to show up in the world. But you know what? And the crazy thing as well, I've heard so many comments about why Talon can't be good. Oh, he only can go in. Oh, you exhaust him and life is painful. Zed's more consistent. Zed's got more things to do. Kerp says no. Talon is the guy to go for here. The top dog mid laner for him with Fizz banned. And it's going to be fun to watch some more.
Yeah, even though Exhaust is pretty good against him, doesn't look like Unicorns of Love are investing in that. They want some Mundo control with their double Ignite, and also they're going to have their Tristana on top of that. So big thing about Talon, though, is he has to get ahead early.
Yeah.
Because his mid game is completely reliant on how well you did in that early game, and then you just have to keep spiking it up. Because if you just plateau, at some point you like get Moby Boots and your first item, and then you do nothing with it, you're going to fall off completely.
Well, something that Kerp definitely has to keep under control. That is how much roaming he gets done, how many kills, how much farm he gets. Now, of course, last game he did just fine in the early laning. Started the game with 3 kills by like level 6 or something crazy like that. So maybe he gets that same kind of start. Maybe that was kind of a miracle start. I kind of lean towards the latter. It might be a bit of a slower early game for Millennium. We'll have to see what happens when they don't get those early kills in the mid laner.
I don't know if he's going to hit level 6 first this game.
Unlikely.
Yeah, there are a lot of options here, though, because he can go for the silence as the cocoon is coming in, and if it's right on target, then it'll most likely hit. It doesn't give your opponent any defensive options.
Right, so this is the thing to look for then, is how good are the ganks Elise and Lee Sin in there for Cottonex and Gilius respectively. Unicorns of Love need to start making a comeback sooner rather than later. Whereas Millennium got to keep trucking ahead.
Right now, you're going to see the Flask start by the Talon in the mid lane for Kerp. Nobody swapped their summoner spells, so no exhausts. It's just going to be full-on brute force damage.
At the very least, they do have Vizichachi on this Maokai for the ulti. So if he can get the ulti on before Talon starts the engage, he can probably keep his squishies alive here. Power of Evil, Hylissang, and Gilius also have the potential to shield people. If they can do it in time, they can also protect people against Kerp.
UOL on this left side, Millennium just passed them like ships in the night. But there are 4 members of Millennium on this side and 5 members of UOL at the same part. Creatine is already in that top lane, walking around. UOL have the numbers advantage here, and that if they, I mean, they have no idea this is going on.
30 seconds until
But they're going to go for the invade here.
And it's the same level 1 as well by Millennium. They send Creatine off on his side to basically trinket ward a side river. And then they all dive into the jungle.
They're all going to get spotted here, so more information once again in favor of MIL.
Vizichachi puts a trinket ward down, and out he goes. Now, there was a sweeper start for Cottonex. Made sure that they were safe in the brush they were in. Also, a full duration ward, I think.
Creatine peeked out.
Minions have spawned.
All right.
Oh, they're going to ping the blue. They saw Creatine there.
Right.
They immediately say, there's no reason for an AD carry to be top unless they're going to go for lane swap, and that means they're going to use that power of the numbers advantage on that buff. So good move here by UOL to go to the side that has no vision control by MIL.
The funny thing is, if Unicorns of Love were cheeky enough, they actually could have gone for a red buff steal and taken away a buff on the strong side of the map. That's a giant risk in the route out, but you can see with so little vision by Millennium that would have actually worked out despite it being a gigantic risk.
So here's the thing too, is they picked that Tristana on Unicorns of Love side, but Millennium lane swap on them.
Yeah.
So they put their lane bully Creatine Lucian in the top lane, and they're going to maybe treat him like a carry this game and try to get him a bunch of farm, because he does have carry potential, and Creatine is that guy on the team alongside Kerp who know how to carry games.
And so far, he has done really well. Creatine was a big force in their win in Game 1, that consistent damage that they needed. That worked out nicely. Unicorns of Love, meanwhile, is going to do the double jungle standard stuff. Mid lane should go pretty equal as well. So I want to see what happens as the lanes start breaking down a little bit more. But so far, a very, very standard early game.
Yeah, I actually like this, though, because we don't talk enough about how challenger teams don't always get the same type of matchup or experience in their opponents as LCS teams. So being able to handle a lane swap this calmly, know the routes, know the timings, is good on UOL's part. Because there are some teams that if you lane swap on them, they freak out. And look at this, they're going to go straight for this dragon at 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
Well, they do have to be a bit careful, though, because Vizichachi did leech some of the experience there, so Gilius is not going to be level 3. It's actually some missed damage potential for Unicorns of Love, and actually, they're going to not get this dragon. Wow, yeah. Millennium just pull on down with Kerp and everyone else, and they're fine. Kerp, thing is, he was pushing Power of Evil around in the lane, higher CS, the wave push in his favor. UOL could not pull their mid laner down. Kerp basically secured the dragon.
Yeah, just by having presence. Having the presence and shoving it out and knowing the timing of that. Oh, and they're going to leave that Wraith. Gilius. Putting this Q in. It's going to aggro the dragon. Oh!
Nope. Nami hit it. Doesn't matter. So, Vizichachi is sent top lane. Maokai level 1, though, is going to be facing a level 3 or level 4 Lucian. Vizichachi's going to have a long road ahead scaling up. At least does leech up to level 2. But I think this might still be a very difficult matchup for Vizichachi. We'll see. 4 minions to 23 when the lane starts. We'll see if he can get up from a 20 minion deficit later on.
And this lane is just pushing up into Creatine at this moment. So he has the opportunity to freeze it. So he's just going to let the turret eat it up a tiny bit. It will get frozen a little further up. Thing here is that Maokai has really great gank assistance. But speaking of gank assistance, Cottonex is off on the side.
There's a silence, but the cocoon misses. Power of Evil walks away with 100 health. No ignite by Kerp. That could have maybe meant the kill.
And that's going to be Cottonex pushing this lane out. Cottonex is being a lot more aggressive than Gilius. I believe the first gank both games has been out from him in the mid lane.
Yeah, it has, and it's worked really well so far. Millennium are going to, again, get level 6 first in the mid lane. Kerp is going to easily shove into the turret whenever he feels like it. Gilius just leeching experience and trying to queue for some gold.
And Kerp is the type of player who knows how to push that lead. You give him a lead and get him level 6 early, he's definitely going to abuse that against his lane opponent.
Yeah, but so there's all the missed gold and experience by Power of Evil. Kerp already level 5. Power of Evil is not. Bot lane, though, Vardogs and Hylissang are in a pretty easy 2-on-2. Good hook onto Kevin. Decent damage pop there as well. Nice flay as well. 3 or 4 auto attacks plus the explosive shot. Very meaningful damage. So free farm for Trist, but I want to see how much gold Kevin can get out of this lane. Vizicsacsi is losing a little bit of gold in this matchup against Creatin.
Another thing about this Maokai, though, is it's very effective against Talon, against all assassins. You root them up, you have so much stacked CC.
Oh.
Look at this. The wave is there, Vizicsacsi top. He has his flash, but Elise can drop turret aggro so easily.
There's the root, kind of took a whole bunch of damage. Good repel. Vizicsacsi versus Creatin. Can he flash away? Doesn't need to. Summoner heals enough. First blood, Millennium.
Wow, both of them juggling the turret aggro perfectly, and Gilius not in the right spot at the right time. Could have taken such advantage of that.
And Kurt putting massive damage on Power of Evil. The rake slow into about 3 auto attacks afterwards. Look at those trades.
Kerp is very close to getting that level 6.
There it is. He still has Ignite as well. He saved the Ignite cooldown, even though he might have gotten the kill, the jungle gank earlier on. He saves the cooldown for the level 6 all-in instead.
This is going to be a giant minion wave pushing up here. He's got to clear a little bit of it out.
So Tyr is going to be the mana item of choice for Power of Evil. He should be getting a Seeker's Arm Guard soon afterwards. Seems to be the build. And maybe a Merlinomicon. Power of Evil kind of tempting Kerp to go for this fight, but staying at full health. He seems to be durable enough. So far, so good. Kevin now swapped to the top lane as well, so they're going to match up pretty equally. Kevin did have a better time in his sort of weird oblong matchup than Vizicsacsi did. A bit of a CS lead for the Mundo.
Yeah, and the big thing with just the lane swapping it back was they got their BF swords. And I've been noticing that more and more because I was always thinking about it. And I was like, what causes you to swap it back? Is it the fact that some team is like, all right, it's time to do Dragon? No, it's just you got enough gold for the BF sword. And I last hit more effectively.
Yeah, and at that point, you've got to be on the correct side of the map because Dragon can die so fast. If you're not there, you just give up Dragon.
Exactly. And the fact that the BF sword is such a early game spike for these champions, and the whole point is you don't want to be in a lane where you get bullied out and then buy a pickaxe to their BF sword.
Right,
so it covers you.
Even worse. At this point, yeah, they should be able to trade pretty equally in that duo lane down there. Power of Evil still staying alive. Did get his blue buff with no problems. Gilius got red, also no questions asked. Double longsword plus the machete seems to be the standard Lee Sin build. It will allow him to fight better, but if he doesn't actually get any ganks, those longswords don't matter. And Spirit Stone actually would have been faster clears.
Vizicsacsi, I think he should bully Kevin around right now because he has this level where Mundo doesn't have all the tools he needs. He also has more experience coming towards him right now. Mundo is not 6 just yet. Vizicsacsi has a window of opportunity here, but now it's gone because Cotnex is here. And here's the thing is if Vizicsacsi was in the same mindset as I was a second ago, he goes for this. And it looks like he's not anymore. The 6 Mundo has now come out.
And it also looks like Gilius wants to be on this side of the map.
He's going to get
as well.
spotted, though.
Yeah, he does walk by a ward. That was a very early pink ward, or sorry, green ward put down by Cotnex earlier on. Gilius actually saw it die and pinged that the ward was there. So he's like, guys, by the way, I got spotted up here. Cotnex will know that counter gank could be around that could make him hide. As Gilius says, all right, I'll just recall. Sapling does not spot the brush that Cotnex is in there. Vizicsacsi might have to be careful on this one. If he doesn't check the middle brush, he could die here.
He does not have his flash, and that's huge at this point in the game.
Sapling should be up again soon.
He's so far forward right now. Cotnex.
Oh, he walks forward. There's the Q. Looks like the cleaver does land as well. Ulti popped. Cocoon is going to hit. This could be enough damage. He just goes in towards Kevin. Almost gets the kill. Forces the flash. But out goes Kevin. Good kill by Cotnex.
Both of them are so low right now. Gilius has missed so many opportunities this game.
Yeah, he has. Over and over and over again. Cotnex out-ganking him. Gilius shows up mid. He's like, yeah, I mean, I can try something. Q, not gonna land either. Nothing picked up.
The fact he's on Lee Sin and his lane pressure has been so low is not good for Unicorns 11 in this early game. They're down 900 gold. They're going to have to make a play for this dragon.
Well, they're going to try. Kevin does have teleport. Cotnex did finish healing, but looks like he might not make his way down in time. Vizichachi has teleport. Power of Evil is around, and he's trying to zone away with the ball. There's the TP in for Kevin. Double his Power of Evil, and in goes Curb. Big damage comes in. Somebody he'll already used to keep one alive. Two-man Shockwave doesn't mean much, though. Curb finally goes down. 1-for-0. Vizichachi is not that tanky in the front lines, though. He's forced to run away. Cocoon's going to hit. Millennium will chase, but a good lantern keeps him safe. Bardock now jumps on, but wow, too far forward by Cotnex. He will go down. That is a 2-for-0, but Creedon fires back. Red buff now on, looks for Hylissang. Forces the flash away from the Thresh. Out goes Creatine. A kill on Vizichachi as well. Kevin drops, though. That is a 3-for-2 overall in UOL's favor.
Creatine's going to walk away with a bit of a red buff here, but Millennium still 400 gold up. After that is all said and done. Huge collapse by both top laners.
Ooh. Wow, split the minions too. That was sick.
Yeah, you get pretty familiar with Thresh when you play 400 games in solo queue with him. Oh!
Hylissang, one hit from dead, can't quite make it happen. The shield, the red buff, it times out, and just like Kobe, he misses out on the kill.
The burn. Walk away.
Yep. All right, Power of Evil is holding on though. Despite having a pretty rough matchup, despite the fact that Kerp stopped the very first structure of the game with his lane bullingness, Power of Evil has not died. He is 0-0-3. The teamfight contribution is working.
Power of Evil sets up a really good shockwave here off of the hook, and they get a two-man there.
Almost got create.
Gets shut down very early on, and now at this point, Kevin is walking around without his ultimate. They spent a lot of damage and time on him, and then his ultimate comes back up, so they have to reapply that damage. Cotnex goes too far forward, and now Kevin has his ultimate. He's able to pop it, but they baited this fight out. Because Creatine, he's low, he's off to the side, he's out of there. But now, back to this.
Another Dragon attempt. Shockwave is available. In goes with Vizichachi. Gets a nice little knockback onto Jay Reed. That Nami is pretty hurt, but Gilius is at half. Vizichachi also very injured. Kerp on the wings does have the ulti. Low health bars on Unicorns of Love. And of course, there's sustain here from the Nami. This is a fight that looks like Millennium will win, but Unicorns kind of staying around. This is extremely risky, though.
For the hook, it's Kevin.
Good play, 300 health. In goes Kerp, the jump back from Bardock, though Kevin nearly dead. Shockwave gets 2. Creatine knockback does stay alive, though, but Cotnex goes down to the box. Kerp pulled in. Big ulti does get 1.
A Shadow Assault. Oh, man. That's so much damage at this point in the game, in that early game. Just hitting multiple targets with it. The Shockwave after the kick of Gilius was exactly what they needed for Unicorns of Love, because that fight was not going to go their way if the Shockwave only hit one person.
Man, Kerp just barely squeaking out enough damage to make that fight work. Power of Evil still has basically no ability power in his build. If he finally gets to power up, he's going to be a really big threat in these fights.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, is Unicorns of Love set themselves up for this type of situation. Despite being down in gold, they're still able to contest these objectives because their comp is so team fight oriented. Gilius went around the side because he was looking for flanker. Gets the kickback, trying to hit Kevin for the kill, but instead hits him right into the shockwave, which is absolutely perfect. They pick up Cotnex, but then boom, boom, so much damage to Vizichachi there. And Power of Evil and the rest of them have to back off. But look at this, back to the dragon, the scene of the crime.
Kevin does a whole bunch of damage. Hylissang's got to be careful. Gilius is in the mix. And Cleavers has backed the heck off Vizichachi. He's going to show up though on the sides. Millennium forced to back away. They are split right now. Now Kerp has the ulti up. Power of Evil does not though, which is an important cooldown here. Millennium are going to get ward control off of this one. Bardock's also forced to back. Does have eye edge though, and he has it before Creatine.
The thing is this dragon might get started up before he's back in his tendency.
Millennium are going to start it in face of a ward though. Yeah, mid's pushed out. EOL could honestly just trade mid lane turn with this dragon. It wouldn't be too bad. Gilius could get a lantern out if he wants to try for this one. Good Q over, is going to try. Doesn't get the smite, but out he goes. That's fine. Safe move, mid still under fire.
He smited it anyway. Didn't get it. Cotnex 2 for 2 on securing the dragon. Wow. Gilius right there.
Unicorns were honestly way too passive on the mid lane. They could see how many members of Millennium were still fighting dragon, and they refused to push that turret down.
Yeah, Kerp came up for the wave clear, and that's just about all he contributed to that. And so I'm looking at the score line here, and really just Vizichachi, 0-4. He's 80% of the deaths of his team. But he has 100% kill participation. He's showing up to these fights, but he's the one who's soaking all the damage and dying. Yeah. When he gets tanky, is just going to go even further in Unicorns of Love's favor, but Millennium have to run away with the game before that.
Well, you talked about actually Challenger teams not getting the same practice as LCS teams in more odd situations like lane swaps, which of course you never see in solo queue. Vizichachi is not respecting his own durability limits in this sort of lane swap situation. So now he's getting kind of jumped on again, does not have the ward coverage again to spot Cotton next. Nowhere for him to go, jumps into the brush, doesn't really have a chance of living though. And again, Vizichachi just not playing around the fact that he's so under-farmed and has no vision.
And the fact he has no vision is really, really bad. That's what's allowing him to just get collapsed on. Cotton next every time. Jerry.
Oh, okay, good.
Turret kill.
And a good aim tidal wave. Jerry at half health. In goes Vardox. Does get him after the flash though. Ultis him back. No, gets picked off. Jerry gets the kill and survives. And suddenly Kevin shows up. Hillsong is in a pretty bad spot. Box will slow him down though. Goes and ignites Kevin. In because of the Chachi as well. Slows down Creatin. Good shockwave. Will not yet kill the 80 carry. Oh, the sapling does though. Kevin knocked back, killed by Gilius, actually a 2-for-1 for Unicorns of Love.
The teleport from Vizichachi was what got him into that fight, and he threw a sapling down for good measure behind Creatin in the escape route. Really well played there. Kerp, he's going to have to back instead of flanking.
What was crazy is despite Boots of Moby versus Boots 1, Power of Evil got to that fight way before Kerp, and Kerp couldn't even try for that one. So that means Unicorns of Love now on 2 turrets, and within 1,000 gold here, are right back in this. It's just like the first game.
Exactly. And Jerry, he barely got out off of Creatin's heal. And then Creatin didn't have that available for himself, went a little too far forward, and got punished for it because of the teleport collapse. We're going to see it here. They kill the turret, so the damage isn't coming out anymore. Vardax goes a little too hard, but he's not expecting this heal there, and has to flash forward to try to get the execute. Instead, gets picked off. But meanwhile, there's the TP to the minion wave that is already up there. The hook onto Kevin, but instead they focus down Creatin, blow him up with that little sapling. He got Pikmin right there.
1,300 gold game here. Unicorns of Love actually are there. Ooh, the hook! Ooh, nearly onto Kerp, but that is the Shadow Assault on cooldown now. And Unicorns of Love, look at this, back in this game. 3 turrets to 1. Only problem is they're losing in CS almost everywhere, and they're definitely down in Dragons.
Yeah, the big thing is that turret that's down for Unicorns of Love is actually that one in the mid lane, so Kerp has a little more freedom to roam around the map. But the fact that they have all these side lanes, they are able to get themselves vision control of the jungle, they're able to establish dominance of it. And right here, I mean, Gilius' impact this game, I have to think about it even more. Because as the jungler, he's still tied in kill participation with his 80 carry and support, whereas the mid laner and top laner are higher than him, which basically means they didn't do anything until team fights.
Yeah.
Cotnex, on the other hand, has the highest kill participation on his team, higher than anybody else. Mid laner's been involved in 1, he's been involved in 5, which is indicative that he was making plays in the top lane.
Right.
He was pulling people around. And look at this Hillsong.
Speaking of bullied, Hillsong goes down. Shockwave, good flash by Kerp, gets away from the box as well. 2 ultis nullified by flash there. Gilius gets stunned up by Cotnex, lands the Q all the same. Backs right out.
Too many people, he can't continue that because J-Ree right off on the side. That's Vardax Creatin bot lane, farming it up, trying to avoid as much turret damage as possible.
Looks like he's going to be okay with this one. Vardox kills off the wave. Creatin does not risk his neck to go for a little bit of turret damage there. Means slower progress here for the AD carry of Millennium, but that's just fine. He's up a level here. He's going to go for the same build. Again, Yomu's Ghostblade in his sights later on. Vizichachi down a level against Kevin. That rank 11 ulti, or sorry, level 11 ultimate, should be pretty valuable for him just to have the lower cooldown and just to have the combat stats. Vizichachi's just so under-leveled. He's actually the lower than everyone else on Millennium and like second lowest on his team behind Hillsong. He's got to catch up somehow.
Yeah, he's very close to level 10. He'll hit that Power of Evil, and the mid laners are all both level 12. Here's the thing though, is the top laners, we do have Kevin backing, so he's not going to have 11 for this dragon fight. So it's not going to mean a big difference between these top laners in terms of power disparity between them.
Interesting thing is both top laners actually have a 30-second window where Dragon's up but Teleport isn't. Actually more than that because it's a 5-minute quota they TP to wards.
Kevin's top. Vizichachi's going straight to this dragon.
this could bait Millennium in the wrong spot. They're going to have this really, really small window of no teleport. Can Unicorns of Love use that? I'm not sure they can. But if they go fast, they will.
Got to Ricky Bobby this. Get straight to that dragon. 2 seconds on it. They've cleared the vision, for the most part, around the pit. They have a pink ward in the pit. And now Cotnex is there contesting. They're trying to buy time for Kevin.
And look at Kevin. He's walking down knowing TP isn't up. He doesn't want to risk that. They jump in. They try to push Cotnex around. Not enough done, though. A few more seconds of 5v4. They're going to ping that. They're going to start it up here.
They place the ball for zone.
Teleports up in about 8 seconds, though, and either way, Kevin is going to be in range. How much will the ball zone? Most of them can jump over the walls. Pulls him back in for command protect. Vizichachi half health gets cocooned as well. Here's the steal attempt. Elise is in range. Tidalwave and Culling come across.
They're going after Gillian.
Onyx jumps out and down goes the kill, and the dragon goes to Millennium as well. Beautiful play there by Kerp and Cotnex. Vizichachi stunned up. Flash of the wall. Cotton once more. The shield keeps him alive. Hook onto Kerp slows him down. 2-man shockwave, but they can't chase. Has to flash from the bubble. Cotnex low on health. Cocoon again onto Hillsong. Vardox knocks him back. Ignite might just get Cotnex, but it won't. Stays alive thanks to J-Ree's heal. And Millennium just gets the kill on the dragon.
So 1 for 0 in the dragon, exactly. And now they're pressuring this bot lane turret, but they don't really have the HP bars to do so. It's about a 4K gold lead now for Millennium. And what ended up making that happen was Kerp focused Gillies. He said, I'm not going to play this game where I'm attacking random people like Vizichachi. I can go straight for Gilius, go to the smite, blows it up, makes it so that Cotnex pretty much has a 100% chance if he's on his game with just the smite.
And you're seeing basically what happens when you pick champions that are a little bit better on the early game. There's so many fights for these dragons, and Millennium just having a little bit more to say in these battles. Again, Vizichachi also being held down, just really hurtful as the Rod of Ages keeps trying to stack up, and it's just not really working out for him. So Millennium, 4,000 up.
And speaking of being held down, they weren't able to hold down Kerp. He is 3-1 at this point in the game. He sees Gilius, jumps immediately on him as soon as he has the range, and blows him up with the Shadow Assault, bringing it back immediately. And then Cotnex bites it, smites it, and then gets a cocoon over the wall to stop Vizichachi for a second. Great shockwave here to disengage. Throws it into the bush and waits for Creatine and J-Ree to chunk them out, because he knows he's going to get the most bang for the buck out of that.
And also when Gilly gets that kill.
Almost.
Cotnex. I mean, the Ignite timed out regardless at that point. But if Vardox got a crit, he would have gotten the kill before the heal came out.
It looks like this bottom turret is what Millennium are after at this moment. They're pulling Kerp down at the same time. This is going to drop Vardags.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
He's going to back off of this.
All right, so 4,000 gold lead now for Millennium. They are in control.
Hillsang sees this.
Sweeps it out, makes sure no one's seen. But you know what? Nothing picked up for Millennium. They just back right off of that wave. They don't want to risk walking into the fog of war. Vizichachi goes by a ward himself. Millennium keeping some vision up now in the enemy jungle. Did a pretty good job of tracking movement so far. Power of Evil also is finally scaling up now. He's got the finished Zonias and the completed Seraph's Embrace. So no CDR, but actually a decent amount of ability power on him.
I wonder if he'll go for the Rabbidan's Death Cap next, because Rabbidan's plus Seraph's Embrace.
I think at this point you Void Staff. Once you have like enough ability power, you get actually a little bit more out of Void. It's okay to have a late Death Cap. Ooh, that hook. That was actually kind of poorly aimed there by Hillsong. Not a way that he's probably going to juke. Bubble, nice one by J-Ree. Nope, no ward. He just kind of spotted you. Mr. Sana still trying to scale up though. Vardox does have that as his sort of way in on this game. But Cotnex on the flank. Nice cocoon. J-Ree got a bubble as well. Culling for damage. Hillsong half health here. Good damage coming through.
And also the fact that you talked about the CS, or you talked about Vardags.
Yeah.
CS is equal to Creatine's this game because of the lane swap, because he wasn't getting bullied. So he's actually in a really good spot here in terms of power scaling alongside Millennium's AD carry.
Problem is though is that Millennium have all this gold from places that aren't just minion kills. So you could see the pickaxe there versus the nothing there for Vardogs. So like there's these little sort of pieces that are coming in because of dragon kills, because of 3 overall kills for the team, that it's a little bit hard for UOL to catch up. We're seeing Millennium. They're repeatedly going to the sort of siege, the 4 or 5 man siege. If Dragon's not on the table, they just group up and sort of say, all right, we're going to sit mid lane. We're going to try to wear you down with our heals.
Like, it's It's kind of funny to think about too, because for all intents and purposes, Millennium has almost the same composition as last time, like mid lane assassin, top lane tank, and then they have Lucian, Nami. But they don't have the same poke constants in this game.
Yeah.
So their sieging is drastically lowered, but their pick is a little higher.
But they also don't have like the crazy ham fizz either, right? Like Kerp has to commit himself and doesn't have the same kind of disengage. So yeah, it makes these kind of fights a little harder for Millennium. Vardog's gonna try to wave clear. TP comes in for Vizichachi. He was actually mid lane there, but they got the wave clear anyway. It's like a fairly useless teleport. He could have pushed mid.
Yeah, Millennium have so many wards all across this jungle. And the fact that it's pretty much blind for Unicorns of Love at the same time.
But the crazy thing is UOL are still keeping up with the rotations. They're there in time to defend the turrets. Problem is they get picked off.
Oh, Gilius.
Stays checks the team. There's the cleaver. Gets away from the bubble, but the cocoon hits him in the back. Gilius half health. Cooked. Again, does not quite land. Kevin happy to back off safely. Slow for Vizichachi doesn't mean much.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. It should be a Void Staff for Orianna, because they have the Aegis of the Legion. They also have the Spirit Visage done. So he's going to need to be a heavy damage dealer, a heavy burst to that back line and the front line. But Vizichachi definitely having a bad game. He's staying up in CS versus Kevin.
Yeah.
In terms of compared to everybody else in the game, his AD carries are going to start shredding you. And look at that. Gilius caught out, getting chunked down.
Well, here's the weird thing as well, is that even though you're saying they're keeping up in CS, and he's kind of keeping up in like kill contribution in a way, right? Like 2 kills, 2 assists, 1 5 assists, not that far different in terms of gold income. The problem is though, the global gold puts Kevin 1,000 gold ahead, which is a massive deal when you've only got 6K. And so again, this objective control, the Dragons repeatedly going to Millennium, finally getting the bottom tier 2 turret as well. It means so much in this low income game.
Yeah, it's almost it's like 17% more gold.
Right.
Because Vizichachi is not around this. Ooh. Hands it off to Vardags. Yeah, UOL do not have complete control of their jungle at this moment, but look at this. It's all about the dragon control now. And UOL are actually going to shove this mid lane down instead of the dragon.
I think this is a great choice. They finally learned they cannot contest these dragons and win the fights. Nice sapling over the wall to spot the flanks. Kevin comes in from the back. Minuets will spot that. But I think UOL can stay, kill the turret, and then battle afterwards. No, they flinch, they back off here, but Vizichachi is now alone out of the turret. He's going to actually pull aggro in this fight. 1, 2 turret shots go through because of that miscommunication. Unicorns of Love now on the way out. Kerp slowed down. Gilius can maybe isolate him. Can he Q him? Can he kick him over the wall? He does! Kerp's in a bad spot! There's the kill for Unicorns of Love. Now can these guys fight a 4v5? They've got the health bars.
No chance to Shadow Assault there, and now UOL are going to try to push this. It might even just be a dragon for them, but that's exactly what they need. They're going to clear this minion wave out in the mid, they're going to start to zone them off the side, and they're going to give themselves options, because right now, Hylissang, he's chunking that turret down very, very slowly. He's
With power people as well. Yep, pulls in the Orianna. Very nicely done. Unicorns of Love now can also get the dragon and pull themselves back in. The Kerp flank for once finally failed. He had done so well this series with these flanks, but he got picked off. Gilius made the play. Kevin in the wrong spot, flashes out to stay safe. Play did not come in time to lock him into the box.
Go back and just clear that bottom wave, but that's exactly what Unicorns of Love needed. I talked about how Maokai is really good against assassins because he has multiple CCs that stop them from going anywhere. Gilius set that one up. Kerp kind of let it happen to him too.
Yeah.
After getting Sonic Wave Resonating struck, he just stood there for a quarter second. And that was enough time for Gilius to reposition.
So here we go. Kerp gonna keep the clear going though. 230 CS, 241 now, highest in his team. Power people though, here for a flank. Pink Ward spots them. They're gonna go right past that. Can they lock down Kerp? He's got the ulti. He's got flash as well. Vizichachi, haste on in. There's the TP in for Kevin. They say no thank you, but Gilius is here. Can they bait this? They don't know that Gilius is in the brush. Kerp's got to be careful. Jumps on in. Nice cutthroat to the minions though, and they're going to jump for this fight. Kevin, half health, flayed in. Can they all in him? Looks like the answer is not quite yet, and he gets to safety. Shotgun gets 2 though. That's not good for the bot lane, but suddenly Power People dies. Creedon's actually safe. Kerp goes in for massive damage. That is 3 kills for Millennium. There's no AD carry in sight for Unicorns of Love. A 4-for-0 in that fight.
When that fight started, I said they don't have Vardags. He's not there. Millennium ended up in a fight that they wanted. Despite it looked like Kevin was going to go down, but they blew so much on it to the Unicorns left side, and that might be Baron just falling into their hands. We saw Gilius after that play.
Yeah.
Put his hands on his face. He he knows that that was just a big swing for Millennium there.
That could have easily been a 2-for-0 UOL into a top lane siege in a turret. Instead, 4-0 Millennium. Baron picked up their own top lane siege. This turret is not long for the world.
6K, 6.5 for Millennium. They're going to just get
7.
even more. Make it 7.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And a half. Ha! All right, a lot of cash money now for Millennium. And of course, they've got to go back. They got a whole bunch of dollars recently. More than 1,000 at every single member's pockets. So the funny thing was, knock as a Baron would have still been bad, but let's watch this fight again.
Yeah, this fight is a lot about the fact that Tristana's not there. Gilius, he looked for the kickback, but then this is what they do. They go so hard on Kevin, they blow a lot of summoner spells, and then Vizichachi goes too hard. He pops his ultimate off to try and get that last bit. Good shockwave there, but here's the thing, Power Beeble locked up by J-Reed. Cotnex comes off on the side, and then everybody trickles in, and it's essentially a 4-on-5 without having the AD carry there from UOL, which was the persistent damage that they needed during that fight. This team from UOL is really Orianna Tristana focused. When you don't have those two champions in the fight, your damage output is so low. It's so hard to take out Mundo. You saw how long it took, but look at this. Cotnex caught.
Well, he's going to go down. Nice kick there by Gilius. One thing as well in that fight, you talked about Orianna, and we talked about Gold a second ago. I don't think Power People had bought just yet. He had over 2K in inventory by that point. And like Sword Shoes Blasting Wand would have been enough to guarantee the kill on a Kevin and maybe get that fight in a better spot, or maybe do enough damage to knock down Kerp if they kind of focused on him. And just little misses there by UOL. It's the case every single time. They show these moments of greatness and these moments of like, oh my god, he really just did that. They're so close to every single game. Millennium, though, consistently outperforming.
UOL are trying to get vision control back of this area. Even if there isn't a Baron, they're still saying we need to clear everything out of here. We have this opportunity to do so. That's how much Unicorns of Love prioritize vision as a team. And granted, to be honest, their vision control this game has not been completely on point.
No. They don't see Kerp on these wings. Kerp, though, has his own ward spotting this red buff. He's going to look for the play here.
They do see him now.
Ooh, that cleaver almost stole it. Blue elixir on Kevin, by the way. He's going to go in. They look for this. Bubble onto Vizichachi, the tank, losing half his health. And the Unicorn's top winner retreats with the Lantern. So Baron buff. Still 1 minute left here for Millennium. They're looking for this mid lane siege. They actually all bought elixirs off that Baron buff. Red elixir is also on Kerp here. So really trying to push this with the all-in on the extra consumable purchases. Mid lane tier 2 under fire should be dying quickly. This will be the 6th inner turret going down.
Vizichachi with the home guards already back and at full HP to defend this turret. Like we said, they don't have the same poke on Millennium's side this time. It's really window cleavers and a little bit of wave clear from Creedson. They don't have that Kha'Zix.
And you can see how that manifests. They are winning most of their fights off of basically random battles and dragon fights.
It's so hard for Millennium to actually siege up an objective.
Yeah.
That it actually gives UOL an edge. They have the pick with Thresh, they have the pick with Maokai, and then they have the team fight right after with Orianna. And actually, they see Creech into the bot lane, and that says UOL, go top, try to get something here.
Can they make the play? Hook is going to get a minion only, but he jumps in regardless. Still a 5-on-4 if they want to dive this. Baron buff times out in about 5 seconds. Top lane turret should die. Get the damage down, Vardog. There you go. Turret's going to fall. Nice play, Unicorns of Love. Tie the turret game one more time. 6,000 gold difference. Baron's off elixirs also time out. Vizichachi, though, cocooned up, gets hit up as well. Burns the shield from Thresh. Lantern comes out they go. Vardog's got to be careful. Loses the red buff to Kerp, I believe. I can't quite tell. Kevin, though, half health. Explosive shots on. Good tidal wave's going to knock back Hylissang.
Vizichachi's alone.
And his ulti's going to time out soon and be back on cooldown. UOL is going to have to retreat from this fight.
Oh, they got caught.
Without the Maokai ulti, though, it's going to be a big risk, but they blow up Cotnex. Kevin's ulti is now being used. He's going to heal right back up, dodge away from the hook. Kerp might look for the flank. Shockwave misses.
Ooh, he hula hooped that one. And that's going to be actually a dragon falling into their hands. They got the hook onto Cotnex, said go full force on him, and that's the smite down. So you all have multiple options here. But right now, it looks like they're going to have to just react to Millennium.
They're going to look for the 4v5. Can they force it, though? Without Shockwave, I don't really think so. Gilius does have a cook, though. Not going to happen. Hylissang gets a minion, and this should now be the UOL Dragon.
Yeah, they have an opportunity to get themselves back into this game off of these picks that they've been creating. Look at Millennium just rotate right back to
They
that
can face
mid
tank
lane.
this turret. I think UOL just have to suck it up and lose that turret because they can't keep getting pulled back and forth while Cotnex revives. Bottom tier 2, sorry, mid tier 2 goes down. Unicorns of Love are going to get Dragon, though, all the same. Equal gold roughly for that.
It's really unfortunate, too, that he whiffed that Shockwave because the ball's been on Vizichachi for so long. It's so much more pressure when when the enemy team knows that Shockwave is available.
Yeah.
Even if it's about like a 3-on-4, that Shockwave could have turned it. So they could have had 2 people do the Dragon,
Right.
and then 3 sit around and just wave clear.
Well, think about how relatively little magic resist is on this team. They've got the Locket, sure, but Kerp only has so much durability. Creatin has no MR items. Like, these guys are very killable in an Orianna combo. Bottom tier 2 gonna get knocked down. Both teams gonna be at 6 turret kills. Vardox gets it. 3,000 gold game. Unicorns of Love on the retreat. They hook in Kevin, who bought a new elixir as well. Millennium really investing in consumables. Hylissang gonna get knocked up. 1,000 health left on him.
Power Evil doesn't have his Shockwave up just yet. They're buying some time for it.
Wow, the
With
flash lever, but you know what? No one's around. Kerp still looking to flank overextension a little bit by Millennium. Tidal Wave gonna go right down the uprights. Hylissang is gonna die, gets the box down. Now can they do much else? Kerp knocked around, burned only his rank, and Vizichachi also gonna die. The ulti was on cooldown. 2 for 0. Great chase by Millennium.
Chase them down. About 5.4k gold difference between these two teams, but Unicorns of Love, they're in full retreat there. Retreat. Can't say that word today.
It's okay, you got Twitter on the mind.
I know. Maybe I just say retweet more than retweet. I had to actually think about that one again.
Oh, man, the flash cocoon! Down goes Power of Evil to the power of Cotnex, and it's going to be an inhibitor turret going down. The inhib also likely to follow. 10 seconds of 5v2 down here.
The chase potential for Millennium is just so high. At least goes the distance multiple times. Kerp has the Moby boots and then the cleavers to lock people down. Millennium played that perfectly.
They played it absolutely amazing, and Unicorns of Love now far on the back foot. It just seems 35 minutes in, Millennium does something to get themselves really far into the game. And over and over and over again, Unicorns of Love just can't quite convert. So Baron's back up. Power People's up in 7 seconds. I feel like this is the last chance Unicorns have to try to win this game. Problem is, dead inhibitor bottom lane.
Yeah. They have that dead inhibitor bottom lane. Vizichachi is going to be on clear duty. Good thing he has magic damage because it does a lot more to super minions, so he actually has a good chance of clearing them out. At the same time, though, you need to get your team up here. They have vision control, but they don't have Orianna there just yet. And Power Evil is how they're going to swing this fight.
Sending everybody down. There's going to be, wow, the immediate drop on Lee Sin. Baron goes over as well. Very clean by Millennium. This is looking grim for Unicorns of Love.
Gilius, once again, not proud of that.
Oh, what a tidal wave. Only gets one, thankfully for Unicorns. Hylissang forced a flash, but it might be enough. Anyway, Cocoon gets Vizichachi, and here comes Kerp.
He went back to the Lantern, and it was gone.
Gets over, 3-man Shockwave. UOL stay alive, but 20 seconds on Gilius. Baron buff on Millennium. Minions flooding in the bottom lane. This is grim.
Those minions funneling in. They're going to start threatening these Nexus turrets. At the same time, Millennium are going to threaten these inhibitor turrets. It's catch-22 at this point. But granted, Millennium Siege is not that great. They're just going to rely on Mundo to
But they can brute force it. Gilius only now revives. In goes Kevin, and they're just going to shoot this thing in the face until it falls over. That worked for Millennium. Didn't even take him very long.
And the brute force there from Mundo. Kevin can just take that up. But look at that. They're going to lose a Nexus turret here on Unicorns of Love's side.
And they're not even defending it, really. The top inhibitor's going to go down anyway. Cotnex gets slowed down, but who even cares? Top inhib falls cleanly by Millennium. They can easily move down towards the next. Looks like they will. Cocoon onto Gilius. Lanterns there. Doesn't mean too much for him, though. They did pull a create. It doesn't matter. Down goes Power of Evil. Kerp in the back lines. Vardox trying to kite him back. They do get the kill, but it's already a 2-for-1 so far. Vizichachi about to drop Cotnex in the air. 3-for-1 now. Vardox and Hylissang try to get the base alive. The flash tries to get Cotnex. One hit from the kill. Can't quite do it. And there's the double for Create. And this is going to be the game. The ace credit goes to Jay Ree. And now Millennium are 1 game away from re-entering the European LCS.
Well earned there. Once again, Creatine and Kermit doing such a good job that game.
Yeah.
You also have to think, J-Reed, 2-0-17 on Nami.
Yeah.
Was in that two-on-one lane. So he had that early game bye, but then later on, just his tidal waves were good at splitting people. And the fact that even if they didn't hit anybody, zoned them to a place where they could catch them.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked his play this game. And I think everybody on Millennium stepped up.
I agree. I think every single person on that team did great individually. I got to personally hand it to Cotnex as well myself, because yet again, wins the lanes for his team, knocks people down, and just says deal with it. This game it was Vizichachi, who never, ever got rolling this game. They first picked the Maokai. He got ganked very efficiently and just taken down by Kevin. Never was tanky, never mattered. In game one, it was him crushing for Kerp. Got Kerp 3 kills early on. No big surprise, Kerp won the game for them here.
Yeah, and it's 1-8-8 for Vizichachi in that top lane.
Yeah.
Gilius had a lot of opportunities to take advantage of these skirmishes that were happening. And you saw he actually was at these ganks before Cotnex, but he pulled off of them.
Right.
His gank timing, and I said it at the start, that he really needs to do situation assessment a little bit better.
Yeah.
And there were some signs of life in that near the end of the game, but it's that early game that really, like if they had just dominated that early game, Unicorns of Love, we haven't really seen them have an early game lead yet, coming into like the first or second dragon.
And that's the thing, actually, is I remember from casting Unicorns with you back in the Challenger series, we never saw them do much with deficits, but they were really good at closing out leads. And if they get that one good gank, like this could be a 3-0 back in for Unicorns. Absolutely a possibility. You're seeing these games are close. But those first 10 minutes have to finally go their way for once. If they do, they'll look so much better, but it's been hard because Cotnex has been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So for more on that game, for game 2, let's send